Okay guys, welcome to Gossip Pixels Concept, and today we are about to make a birthday flyer design. As you can see, what you are seeing here is what we'll be designing today. But before we start, please, I would like you to do to hit the subscription button, subscribe, and also like this video because it will go a very long way for me. Thank you very much as you do that. So let's dive into what we have today. This is a very simple one, a happy birthday design, very simple one. So we are going to be working on this. As you can see, this is the design. So let's go straight to what we have for today. So I'm going to remove everything, like make it invisible. I will make everything invisible. Okay, so this is a plain. Let's just go here first. You can see this is just a plain background. When you open your Pixellab, this is what you have. So I'll just go ahead to open the design. This is the design I say we are going to be working on. So I'm going to show you how I generate this design from beginning to the end. So I'll just make everything invisible. So first of all, we are going to import the materials used. You can see I use this. So I want to remove the white background there. Normally you can use another app, that is photo room, to remove the background, but I use Pixellab to remove my own background. That was what I use. So other apps like photo room will need you to use data. So in case you don't have data, this is what you will do. Use your Pixellab, just remove, especially when it's white background, especially it will be easy for you to remove it from using Pixellab. Now let's go. So I'm going to import the picture I want to use. The picture I use photo room to remove the background. This is the picture we are using. So I use photo room to remove the background. So you see how I'm cropping the picture, and you see how full the picture is. I'm not using it full. You see how full it is. I'm not using it full. So I place the picture this way. I'm going to increase it. Let me crop it a little bit. Still crop it. Now we'll send to back. Now if you watch very well, you see that this ribbon, the gold this thing color at the left of the ribbon is covering her image, like the image is behind, but I want this gold to go behind. You understand what I'm saying? I want this gold. Let me show you what I'm saying. I want this gold here, this place. I want it to go behind her image, so it will be as if her picture is inside the ribbon, like it will be inside the ribbon is wrapping her body. So that is what I want to achieve. So what I will do is that I will duplicate the ribbon, like duplicate it. Now when I duplicate it, I will place it exactly the same way. Now the ribbon is 2. Are you understanding? The ribbon is 2. You can see it here, 2 ribbon. You can see the 2 ribbon here. Now how are we going to achieve that? I'm going to send one behind her image. Now her image is behind, like at the bottom. These are image at the bottom. These are image at the bottom. It's behind the 2 ribbon. So I want one of the ribbon to go behind, while one will stay in front. Then I will remove the color. Now I'll send one to back. This is to back. This is what I clicked. To back. This is it here. I sent it to back. You can see there, to back. Now as I've sent one to back, then the one in front, I'll then use my max tool. This one, you can see it. This one in front. You see the other one is behind. This one in front, I'll then use my max tool. But make sure the image are the same, like on the same line. Make sure the image are on the same line. Make sure they are on the same line. So since I've done that, so I'll then use, there's a tool called the max tool. This is the max tool. You can see it here. Sorry. This is the max tool. This is what I'm going to use. So when I click it, are you seeing there is a line showing? There's a line showing with directions that you can use to adjust. So this will help. You can watch a video. There is a video on this channel on how to use the max tool. I believe before we have done this, I've sent the video already before on how to use the max tool. So you already know how to use the max tool. So I use the max tool to adjust this. If you have not watched the video on how to use the max tool, please do wait to watch the video. It will guide you. You will know what I'm talking about. So this is how I use the max tool. Let me change the background to white so that you see what I'm doing, because the max tool is giving me a kind of black line so that you see it. Now let's go back, and here you can see it very clearly. Now I'm using the max tool to remove that particular color. You see how I'm adjusting the max tool? Sorry. So you can see how I'm adjusting the max tool, because I want to remove the gold color here. Just trying to make sure everything is perfect. Okay, I think I've gotten what I want. So now enable it. Now when you enable it, you see the inner part went off. The inner part, instead of the gold to go off, the inner part went off. So you click on out. You can see we'll have here in and out. You can see it. So you click on out and the gold will go off, while this other one will remain. So now you can see how it looks like. Now if you check very well, let me change to black color so I still see. Now if you see, you can see how it is very well. Now we are going to adjust the image. I'm going to increase the size. Adjust it. You can see I'm adjusting it. Now after increasing the size, then I'll still use the max too, because if you check, you see that the cloth is showing, like her body is showing. So I'll still use the max too to remove. I'll just adjust the max tool like this to remove this part, this down part of her body, so that it will not be showing. So when I enable, you can see that part has gone, it's no longer there. So that is just what I did there. Just a very simple something that I did. So the next thing is to import the other images. Sorry, is to duplicate this particular one, because the other two image behind, I use the same picture. Then I rotate this particular one, then take it behind, as you can see. Then I duplicate it again. Then this other one, I change the distance, rotate, like I flip it, so it will be looking at this other side. Then I take it to the back. Sorry, let me lock this particular one. So as you can see, let's reduce the size. I don't want this video to take long. Let's reduce the size. You see what I'm doing? Very simple. So as I've gotten this, use color filter. I made it black and white. Just reduce the saturation to 100 minus 100. The same thing goes to the second one, minus 100, as you can see. Then that's just very simple. Then the next thing I did there was to the name, Pressy Fresh. Her name is Pressy Fresh. Pressy Fresh. Then I place it here. The font I used here. Which font? Yes, I read this. Ragil. That was the font I used. Ragil. Then I rotate. Then if you observe, you know that I use texture. It was not just white color I used a background. Let's go to image. No, I got that from okay. This was the background I used. Then I added stroke to it, white stroke. White stroke, as you can see. Then adding white stroke, I did 3D effect. Now it's on perspective, but I change it to oblique. Then reduce this, make it 2. Then come here, the darkening is 30. Then I rotate this 200. Then you see here simulate lightning. I disable simulate lightning. Why? Because if you enable, you see that the 3D effect is breaking. So you just have to disable it. If you enable it, it's breaking, but if you disable it, you get the perfect shape. Then the next thing I did was to add shadow. You can see I added shadow. Then coming to the color I use here, you can see the color is very different. The color I use here, let me remove. You see how the color looks like. So what I used to achieve the color was go to color filter. Okay, -60. So you come here. This I achieve this with color filter. Go to color filter, then the hue, take it to -60. Sorry, -60. That's it, -60. The same thing with the both of them. The same thing with this particular one, -60. Just make the two of them -60. -60. Then the down one, I'm talking about the ribbon now. The down one, add stroke. You can see white stroke, make it 10. No, I use 5. Make it 5. So you can see. Then we are going to import the backgrounds that I use. So I use up to 1, 2, 3, 4 backgrounds. That was what I used. So I'm going to import them one after the other. So go to import. I use this background. Increase it. Take it behind. Leave it. Import another one. I use this background. You can see how this background looks like. So what I did was to increase it because I don't need this place where people are showing. So you see what I did. Then take it to back. I'm coming, we'll still work on it. This particular background, you reduce the opacity. You can see, reduce the opacity. Oh, let me check the opacity I used here. The opacity is 40. Reduce it to 40. Then the second one, which is this one, reduce it to 55. You can see what I'm doing. See how it looks like, 55. Then we are going to import the next one. We are going to import the next background, which is this particular one. This is the next background that we used. So you are going to increase it just like I've been doing. Increase it. You can see. So send it to back. Then reduce to 43. 43. That was what I did. Reduce it to 43. Then we import the last one. Import the last one, which is this. This is the last one. So this is it. Just send it to back. This one you are not touching it. You are just leaving it the way it is. I take it up a little bit. Now you see, we are gradually getting what we are looking for. So the next thing there is we added, let me import the design we are working on. Sorry. Okay, don't forget, this is the design we want to achieve this. Hope you know. So the next thing is the happy birthday. So we are adding text now. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So reduce the size to 22. 22. Then the font I use is this font called Nessa. That was the font I used. Then I think I did what to call spacing of 34. I space it. You can see spacing here. This is spacing. This is spacing. So to space the letters, so you can see I will have letters, will have words. So I'm spacing the letters. Increase it to 34. Are you sure it's Nessa? I don't think. Let me see. Okay, sorry. Not Nessa. I use Mount Heavy Demo. That was what I used for the happy birthday. So come down. Then I added shadow. Just add a shadow and leave it like that. The color is white. This video is taking long than expected. So we'll go to the date, which is 12 September. I use this was what I used for the circle there. You can see it's white, but here is gold. So what I just did was to change the color to white, as you see there. Change the color to white. Then the same thing, I will add the text 12th September. You can see just like that. Then I reduce to 16. You can see the way I did the coloring. The 12 is red, while September is black. So I'm still using Mount Heavy. That's the font I used there. So you can see we are trying to achieve that. Let me reduce this so that you'll be seeing what we are doing. So I've gotten that. The next thing is wish you long life and prosperity. It's age with massive grace. Wish you long life and prosperity, age with massive grace. So we go ahead with this. Wish you long life and prosperity, age with massive grace. Now this is it. So we just need to do is to rotate it. I use the icon below to rotate it. You can just come here to use rotate icon to rotate it. Then reduce the size. Then shift it this way. Change the color to yellow. You can see what you got here. You can see, very simple. Just work on the rotation. So you can see with this we are done with the design. But if you watch, it's not giving us the same color that is here. You don't have to worry. because I do not use Pixellab. This is just for designing. Then we'll go to Pixellab and do what we call the final touching, which made the color to look this way. So let me hide this. So I'm going to save. Now while saving, don't forget this circle, I added shadow to it. Even the ribbon, the down one, the one behind the image, I added shadow to it. Then I reduce it to reduce the shadow. When you add shadow, for you to reduce the shadow, you see the shadow is very, if you look here very well, you see that the shadow is too much. It's coming out too much. So for you to reduce it, just click this plus icon, then reduce this one, because the shadow is black, so you have to reduce it to make it faint. So the way you want it to be, reduce it this way. So when you reduce it, you see that the shadow is no more there. Then you can adjust the shadow to bring it out down small by going to offset Y and increasing it. So with this, we have gotten it. We have gotten what you want. Then the next thing is to save as image. I'm saving as image, and don't forget, don't save as JPEG if you want the image to come out very well. Save as PNG with ultra dimension, ultra resolution. Then when you save to your gallery, so just allow it to save. Sorry, the video is taking longer time than expected. It's taking longer time. So the image is saved. The image is saved now. So we'll go ahead to the next app, which is Snapseed. This is my Snapseed. So this is where you do your final retouch to make your image look sharp. Now there are so many this in here, so many editing options. So what we'll do, we'll use click on pop. You see, I click on pop, and this is almost like it's already looking beautiful. Now let's see, look at the current image I brought into this Snapseed, but because when I click on pop, it's already shining. Are you seeing? So if you click on accentuate, see that? So depending on how you want it to look like, you see how it looks like. So the other one looks faint while this one is looking more. So I click on pop and I enable it. Then go to that one is on looks, that you see pop and the rest. Then tools, come to curves. Now this curves is either you brighten it, are you seeing, or you reduce it. So what I did was to reduce it a little bit, brighten it a little bit, sorry, just a little bit, not too much. So when I brighten it, I went to details. Remember, the first place we went to is curves. Now the second place we are going to is details. So click on details. When you click on details, the first thing there is structure. Increase the structure. I increase the structure to 50. Then click on this icon at the middle. This icon here, it will give you another option. When you click on it, you will have another option like sharpening. So you sharpen the image. I also enable it 50. Hope you are getting me. So after enabling 50, then then the last place I go to is tonal contrast. You can see tonal contrast. Then click on tonal contrast. We'll have high tones. If you check the options by clicking this icon, you see that we'll have high tones, mid tones, low tones, protect shadows, protect highlights. So depending on how you want it, you can be editing until you get what you want. So if I increase the high tones, you see how it looks like. If I reduce it, so high tones, make high tones 50. Come here, mid tones, reduce mid tones, anyhow you want it to be. So made it 50. So I'm trying to make it look good. So come to low tunes, still the same thing. Then protect shadow, 50. So if you hold here, you see that it's two different something. Now you just enable. So with this, you have gotten, you just save. Just click on export. This is export. Click on export, then click on save. Then you have gotten your image. Just allow it to save. So this is how I got the birthday design, flyer design. So you can replicate this, you can get this. So sorry for taking much time, but if the time I took to give you this really worth it, just give me in the type in the comment section if you enjoy the video, if the time wasted really worth it. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and don't forget, please don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Please like the video and drop your comments on what you would like to learn about, more about this. Which part of the design you really like to learn? Is it more flyer design, more of maybe ID card design, logo design? Tell me so that I will know and you can ask your question. Thank you so much, and God bless you as you subscribe.